Healthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Food Show!
Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Joe C.
With the Food.
Thank you all very much for listening into the Food Bar Show. Thank you for downloading the pod on your favorite podcast app, subscribing, and telling a friend like a champ. You can always reach us at Food Bar Show. That's FTheBelowBarShow.com. And F The Below Bar Show is your handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out. Drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, foos?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, we're missing Josh.
Foo, where's Josh?
I don't know, man. I made this little ditty.
Tell me where in the world is
Josh. Yeah. He's out in the Bay Area, right, with his
That's
brother?
a very flattering voice sample for Josh.
Yeah.
But yes, he
Wasn't
is.
that hard?
He is up in the Bay right now, visiting Carl.
Well, it gave me this opportunity to reference rockapella, and you don't hear that every day. By the way, Top Shelf Shake is on the show, everyone.
What up?
Yes.
What's going on,
That's my bad. Hey, Aaron, Zach, Marco. Zach and Aaron, you've been on the show before already. It kind of has progressed. The first time it was just Aaron. Second time it was the both of you.
Yes.
And now we have
Full
Marco.
evolution.
Third time's a charm, right?
Third time's a charm. And is this the third time that you've been on the show? I want to say it's the fourth, but I could be wrong.
I think it is the third. I think the one you're thinking of is when we were supposed to meet up and then we didn't.
Right.
You were handling some business.
I was handling some business.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing some Seinfeld games, some trivia.
Yes.
You have gone on tour, and that's the reason I wanted to book you guys around like at Halloween time of 2018, because you guys were about to take off on the road, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go? You got any stories?
Well, that was our first tour with Marco. That one was pretty cool. It was like a 12-day run up to Seattle and back. But then since then we did a month-long summer tour this last summer, and that was definitely more of an odyssey. We actually went up to Seattle again, and Colorado, Texas, and New Orleans and stuff, and Arizona.
Okay.
So that was really cool. Any stories you guys that jump to mind for you guys?
My first acid trip.
You had
That's
an
a good
acid trip?
one.
Oh,
All right.
That
that's
is a good
notable.
one.
that was the most recent one, though. That was the one before.
That was the one.
That was the
before.
11-day tour, right after we did our last appearance
Oh, okay.
on the show.
What were the circumstances?
Oh, it was amazing.
We had a show that canceled earlier that day in Seattle,
Uh-huh.
and we were like scrambling around town trying to find something to fill it with. Couldn't do that, but Aaron actually made friends with like the bouncer at some club and got us in to see a Steely Dan cover band for free. You know? So we went back to the van, hung out for a little while, and remembered we had this acid that we picked up in Golden Gate Park. And so we're like, you know what? We ain't got shit to do tonight. Like, tonight's the night.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, went to see the show, saw like maybe 20, 30 minutes of it. And
Okay.
then,
Before we all started freaking out.
yeah,
Well,
like, we're
some
not
more
good.
than others.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Somebody ran out the room, or
Well, that's
what?
a nice thing. It's like it always bounces out. No, we went in there. We're like initially like, all right, since it's your first time, Marco, or anyone else, like any of us, if we start having a bad trip, we all go and find like a better.
Just let the group
Location.
know, and the
Yeah.
group collectively will just look out for each other and be like, "Hey, you
No
want to
matter
leave?
what,
We're leaving."
everyone else has to go as well because it's like a group thing. So it's
Right,
like
right.
one person freaks out, we all have to be a team
Mm-hmm.
and go out into the world. So that's what we did, and it was
The world was
awesome.
scarcely less forgiving.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a fun time with acid.
No, it was a good one, man.
My last time was a very long time ago, and it was my last. I'll tell you that much.
Really?
Right now. It was not kind. It was
more of a
not
shrooms
kind.
guy, or
I'm more of a shrooms guy, man. The shrooms and marijuana,
yeah,
all the way. And
classic.
the occasional brew.
Nice.
So, notice you guys started recording a couple more songs.
Yeah, we just got back in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Since we got back from the last tour, we had one brand new song. We wrote another one, so we're like, "Hey, 2 songs, good enough. Let's start recording again."
Mm-hmm.
Rather than wait to have a whole album's worth of songs, we're just like, "Screw it, let's just start doing this thing."
Yeah.
So, we're back in the studio. Let's see, we got 2 songs pretty much done right now, and then one more on the back burner for sure. But anyway, we're gonna start releasing them probably this year. We're the plan is to start releasing a single a month
Okay.
throughout the end of the year. So the first one's gonna be Blackout Stories, which is a quaint little piece that we wrote right before we went on the tour. Actually, this last summer tour. So we got to play it throughout the whole tour, and really it got to evolve. It got a chance to evolve really well.
Did it even change while it was on tour? Did you add more things or tweak a few things?
Not so much that we tweaked things. We just got more comfortable playing it. I mean, I bet the drums might have changed a little bit.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
me, like I feel like I kind of settled into my parts a little bit. Found the spots that I need to fill rather than just throwing shit
And
everywhere.
it's nice when you have a consistent row of shows where you can kind of like help it evolve a little bit quicker than it would.
Yeah, and you can kind of gauge people's like reactions to the song too, you know. So that's always helpful.
Yeah, so that one's gonna be the first one that we're releasing, shooting for September, probably mid to late September. We're gonna drop that one, and then once a month till the end of the year. So that's actually pretty exciting. It feels really good to get back into the studio and have that creative outlet.
Yeah.
That playing live, while it is an outlet, it's more of an outlet for energy as opposed to that creativity that comes inherently with the studio.
Yeah, unless you're a jam band, there isn't a whole lot of creativity happening live.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all been in the can already. So we last saw you at the OC Fair.
Yes,
yeah.
we had the pleasure of watching your band as well.
Yeah,
that
thanks
day.
for showing up as early as you did. I wasn't going to be mad.
Yeah,
if
we
you
weren't
guys
going to
didn't
miss you guys, just over
Yeah.
a couple hours. We were like, let's go see.
Yeah,
these
we started
guys.
a little earlier on in the day. It might have been like 2 or 3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon, and then you guys went on at what 6?
Yeah.
That sound about right? Yeah, you guys were great, dude. I really enjoyed the cover of Tool that you guys were playing.
Thanks. That was an
Thanks,
interesting
man.
choice for that venue.
That was interesting, but hey, the people liked it.
They did.
It's funny though. These days, I'm hearing a lot more requests for Tool. Whenever we're on stage, I know you guys. At least you guys have one now. Or how many do you have? Just that one.
We do one. Yeah, that
Okay.
one.
Maybe some more in the future. Hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of Tool, Zach, you mentioned that you were listening to the new album that might have been leaked.
I mean, it might have been. I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's just an internet rumor.
I've heard,
I don't
yeah,
think
I've
it's
heard
really
rumors
true.
about
Okay.
it being leaked. I heard them all the way here,
Yeah.
and
So far, so good.
yeah, it's great. It's great. Like a lot of this. Well, I don't want to like spoil it for Marco.
Yeah.
That one, but I don't know. They take
Do
this
it.
approach of like the slow build more so in this album than I think any other that I've heard so far.
Yeah.
And I actually really appreciate it. It's,
Is it the Tool that we know and love? Did
Yeah,
they
I
evolve
think-
in some way, or is it just like
I mean,
it's Tool? Like it's Tool.
You know it's Tool.
Yeah.
You know it's Tool because they have a very signature sound.
Right.
Damn near from the first note.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Real.
just like the drums. You can tell just the drums.
They're dialed in
Yeah.
on every album in that certain way.
And then, like, I don't know. It's they have a very distinct sound. I don't think people confuse them with other bands very often.
Mhm.
Yeah, it sounds like Tool.
Yeah, very percussive.
It's very yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that I really like what Tool is doing with their marketing as far as releasing their first album in 13 years. I feel like they're really squeezing all the juice out of it,
I mean,
I think it's commendable.
It's getting us to appreciate them on Apple Music and Spotify and all those other apps that everybody uses these days. They were really trying to stay away from that for a very long time.
Yeah, it was like part of their identity is that they didn't participate
Yeah.
in all that mainstream stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad to have them.
I really think
Yeah.
that it was a smart business move on their part.
Yeah,
I like
agree.
that. I like that. Like, who would have thought that such a niche cult band like Tool would fill all the top 10 spots on what was it, Spotify and Apple Music for like when they first dropped that song?
Well, everybody has been itching for Tool on that on their app for how long now?
Yeah.
Now that it's there, hell yeah, I'm going to listen to it.
Mhm. Everybody's been
I was
listening
one of
to
those
it.
guys.
So yeah, it's
Couple
created
weeks.
that whole uptick in I guess Tool mania. Did I
guess
just coin
so.
a phrase?
Sure.
Probably
man.
not.
But yeah, it's
Gonna take the
definitely
world by storm.
going over live a little better. People tend to gravitate more towards the Tool cover that we do.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Marco, me and you go a little bit ways back. You
do.
used to do some drums for the Fallen Electric
I
in the
totally
interim
did.
while we were looking for the new drummer.
Yeah, man.
I understand that prior to that, you were with a band called The Generators, where you were touring Europe.
Correct.
Tell me about that, because you never really got into it when we used to hang out.
Man, that tour was exhausting. Basically, I was filling in for a buddy of mine who was taking some time off. Him and his wife, were like having a child and everything, so he couldn't do the tour. So I step in, and this tour was, if I remember correctly, it was like 19 days with 17 shows. And
Wow.
it was exhausting, dude.
Uh-huh.
It was fun as hell. Definitely, like, had the time of my life. We went to like nine or 10 different countries.
Yeah.
But it was just fucking exhausting, man.
Jeez.
And especially because For some reason, most of the clubs we played over there like just didn't believe in like air conditioning.
What do you
Like,
mean?
it was awful, dude. And it was a summer tour too, so it was like June. And we'd be in these clubs where like, you know, when like during the changeovers and everything, like they have the doors all open, getting some cool breeze coming inside. But as soon as like it's time for a band to start, they just lock everything down. Like it's packed with a bunch of like bodies, so you get that body temperature, and then you're up there playing, and there's like no ventilation, like no
bummer.
fans.
You must have been sweating a
Sweet.
storm.
It was ridiculous.
I mean,
dude.
I sweat when it's a decent temperature. I can't imagine like if it's a sauna in there.
Yeah, it was awful, dude.
Especially
in
playing
that
those
regard,
fast punk
anyways.
songs, I bet.
But
Yeah.
like, dude, the crowds over there are dope, man. Like, it doesn't matter what town you go to, what type of music you play. Like, you go there and like they eat that shit up, dude. They appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd like. I don't know. I think L.A. at least the L.A. area is very jaded when it comes to that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that becomes super apparent as soon as you leave that area. Anywhere else you go, people are just like
People
super
love it.
enthusiastic about live music.
Yeah. It's been really diluted, I think. There's too much going on at the same time in LA. People are just like, well, no matter where I turn, there's going to be something happening. So
Yeah.
they don't really take it in
Yeah, exactly.
as much as somebody should. But the last time that you were on, Aaron, and I don't know, Zach, were you a part of the Seinfeld game?
Oh,
we played the
unfortunately,
previous
yeah,
time?
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm bad at
Did
it.
you lose?
Yeah.
Is that why?
It's not good.
Well, Aaron, you brought that stack of cards with you once
I
again.
did. Honestly, it's actually kind of difficult. Some of the questions are like super obscure
Yeah.
Seinfeld facts.
Dang, where's Josh?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Josh is
that's
missing
why we
out.
lost. Josh just murdered us in this game last time.
Yeah,
A turn of events is coming.
Yeah, so we'll
Yes.
see who takes it in this one, and I think if everybody wants to like buzz in, yell out your name.
Okay.
So that's how we'll
Are we
know your
starting
names.
now?
Okay.
So we're starting now. All right, Steph. What's
Steph,
the
you should have
first one?
screened a couple just to make sure we're not looking stupid here.
These are all really hard. So good luck.
All
okay.
right.
Okay, here's the first one. Jerry,
Tuna sandwich.
let me
That is
finish.
right.
Jerry returns to his parents' home from a scuba diving trip with black eyes. What happened?
Aaron,
Oh,
Yes.
he went too deep, and it was like, and is like the pressure on this mask increased or something. I don't know the clinical name for it. I don't know.
I guess
From scuba diving.
Yeah, he went too deep and
snorkeling,
and
I
it was
think.
yeah.
And
no, it
anywhere
was-
in that area is probably acceptable. So.
yeah. Okay. I'll
what,
give it to
what's
you.
the actual answer?
Yeah.
His capillaries burst.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know the
I-
medical
okay.
term.
We all knew
yeah.
what
Well,
you
nobody
were
was going to
getting
get that specific.
Okay, Jerry tells George that he hopes that after George's unsuccessful attempt at postponing the wedding, he should at least have had some pretty good what?
Aaron, makeup sex.
Yes.
Damn. I was thinking more along the lines when she was like licking the letters.
Oh, that came
yeah,
later.
that was
The wedding
later on.
invitations.
Yeah. All right, so what do we got,
Okay.
Steph?
Why won't Jerry eat the special meal that Poppy prepared for him and Audrey?
Marco. He saw Poppy in the bathroom and he didn't wash his hands afterwards.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Nice.
And then he sees him like throwing the pizza dough.
Yeah.
Kneading it. Oh man.
Are we keeping score? Who's keeping score?
I'm
You forgot the little coin flip
right
there, guy?
here. Oh, sorry. There you go.
I got the score 1-1.
All right, cool. It's evident the Foo hasn't been even playing.
I'm trying. The old memory, you know?
Jerry tells Sharon, the NYU reporter who outed him, that she reminds him of this comic book gal.
Joe. Lois Lane?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Jesus.
Elaine tells the soup Nazi that he looks exactly like Al Pacino in what movie?
Joe? Scarface?
Nope.
Ah.
Aaron, Son of a Woman.
Yes.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Let's get started.
3, 1, and 1. And
Three.
Zach,
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go with 2 because
Two,
that
yeah.
first one that was a
It was
little
2,
bit
1, and 1.
questionable.
is it really? Okay.
That first.
Fair enough.
Mine.
In what state are Jerry and the gang forced to land when they're arrested under Article 223-7
Oh,
of the
God damn
Latham
it.
County Penal Code?
Last episode.
Yeah, this is the very last episode.
I was supposed to watch
What
this.
I don't
state?
remember.
What state?
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You did- Hey, wait, hang on. You need to yell out your name.
Nah,
Well,
I don't
there-
even care. He gets that one.
Yeah, there was like no
That was pretty good.
competition, so
Why does
hell yeah, I'm on the board, dude.
Yeah, check you out. All right, Zach, step it up, man.
Come on, man. You
I
actually
got
like
this.
the show.
Does anybody want to play this?
Throw him, a,
You watch this show.
Throw
It's
him
not
a-
like
Not
Friends.
as much
throw
as
him a
The
layup,
Office.
Steph.
No, don't do that.
why does Jerry want Elaine to go into the sauna with Cedra?
Nobody knows that.
No.
No.
Aaron, to feel her breasts to see if they're real or fake.
Oh.
That's correct.
Damn, 3-1.
Yeah.
To the
Oh,
They
see,
are
to know
real,
that,
too.
you'd have to know who Sidra is. That's like kind of a...
That's
Yes.
why I didn't
The
recognize.
context was the...
But I remember that scene.
yeah,
now.
yeah. Right,
Okay.
where she falls and grabs the
Yeah,
boobs.
and he grabs her boobs.
Great.
Nice.
Well, you never forget a moment like that.
No, you don't.
Kramer tells everybody something interesting about a clothing store mannequin. What is it?
I don't know.
Nobody? I just feel bad. I'm just like...
I mean,
Go ahead,
Zach,
Zach.
it looks like
Take
an
it.
actress or something, right? But I don't know if it's something specific. I mean, it is, right? But I don't know.
I mean, you're close.
Okay.
You're like real close.
You just
looks
need
like
to name
somebody.
that person.
Take a
Yeah,
guess
see,
of
I
who it
can't do
looks
that.
like.
I can't do
Just
that.
take a random guess of who it looks like.
See that? Oh, is it Elaine?
Yes.
Okay.
There it is. Zach's on the
Got
board.
it. Yeah, got it.
All right.
I hate you guys.
This isn't a Josh list after all. Woo!
Right?
Man, these are hard, but you guys are doing great. Yeah,
First to
it's not bad.
seriously,
It's
right?
not bad.
Are we doing first to 5?
I mean, we can. Aaron's almost there.
Am I
Okay.
at 3?
Yeah,
I think
3.
you're at 3.
All right. Elaine sent her Christmas card to hundreds of people. Why does that make her upset?
Marco, there was an unnoticed nip slip in the picture.
Fuck, that's
Dang.
right.
That is correct. Kramer and Elaine are riding the subway when the train stops at Queensboro Plaza. Kramer tells Elaine that the stop is famous for these and then leaps out.
Nobody?
Nobody.
I'll use Kramer's vernacular. He calls it a gyro.
Yep.
Oh,
That's correct.
damn.
Yep.
All right. Are you up to 4 now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
shit. Okay. Here it is. Game over.
Ready? Jerry thinks he's being set up when this gets stolen from the lobby of Justin Pitt's building.
Zach, is it a couch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
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 Elaine's friend Katie knows an Oscar-winning actress who just happens to like quirky
Zach.
bald men.
Marissa Tomei.
Nice.
Damn.
I didn't even finish reading that.
Yeah.
At
Zach at
Easy
3?
one. Easy one right
at
there.
B
Dang.
or at
Wow.
May? At B.
Aunt May. Aunt B. Sexiest Aunt May of all time.
Yes.
In high school, Jerry became a legend in a sport he had an unfair advantage in.
Zach, is it the race that he cheated?
That is the name of the episode.
Oh, it's not. He like raced some guy in middle school and he like cheated, but the guy never found out and he always suspected it.
Well, he started running before the gun went off,
Yeah.
right?
I think we can give it to Zach
I
on
think
that one.
yeah.
Oh, it's the
Because
official
it's
answer.
called,
running.
the actual answer is like track or running.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll just give
okay.
it to you.
All right.
enough.
Dang,
No more going
came
easy
back.
on you.
Ooh,
I'm not gonna let you win.
Sudden death.
All right.
Dang, are you at 3, Zach?
That was
at
4.
He's at
Is
4.
that 4? Oh my god.
Dang.
Okay. I'm
Crushing
fucking
you.
up.
up.
It's crushing you, fool.
Yeah, I suck.
Elaine tells Russell, Daryl
Dalrymple.
Dalrymple. You already know.
Yeah, we already know.
stack, or?
I know the character.
Elaine tells Russell Dalrymple that she doesn't like him because he works in television. Things might be different, she says, if he belonged to this activist group.
Marco, is it Greenpeace?
Yes.
Oh, crazy.
Are we all at 4?
I'm at 3.
He's at 3.
Marco's at 3. So
Catching up, yo.
Aaron and Zach at 4, Marker at 3, and I'm at 1, I think, with my lowest lane.
You and the Foo.
Me and the
One.
Foo are
That's
at
right,
1.
man. We deserve this.
Kramer tells Jerry he ran into members of a street gang at Lorenzo's Pizza Parlor. Named after a president, what are they called?
Oh, Aaron. The Van Buren Boys.
And he takes it.
For the win.
Are those the guys
That was a good one.
Are those the guys that take the dresser from him?
No, those guys are hilarious though. No, they're the ones, the gang where he has to show their sign, their gang sign, because he accidentally does it because he puts his hand up and he's holding something, and they think he's one of them.
That show was really ahead of its time, man.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was, and it still holds up. Like if you watch it today, minus the old ass Macintosh in the background.
Yeah.
Everything else holds up. It's good comedy.
This game
really
is
is.
so hard.
Yeah, have you guys been
hard.
watching the comedians in cars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
A little
great.
bit.
It's
Yeah.
it's freaking great, dude, and it's cool to see Jerry do something else other than just comedy. You know, he's talking about cars and that kind of thing. And
That guy knows way too much about cars.
that guy loves his cars. Him, Jay Leno, Adam Carolla, they're all freaks about
See, they
cars.
should have a show like this where they have a contest to see who knows the most about cars.
Yeah,
That would
no,
be dope.
I think
Wow.
hands
Jerry
down it'll
Seinfeld
be Jay
versus
Leno.
That would
But,
be
but
awesome.
Jerry Seinfeld though knows a bunch too. Like
But
that'd
Jay
be a-
Leno like has warehouses full
Yeah,
of these
yeah, I've
cars.
heard-
You know,
I've
he
heard.
knows all the history. I think he'll put anybody he'll take anybody to school.
I'd like bet money on that.
Yeah.
They should do that like a boxing match. Where they talk about it and promote it for like months beforehand.
That'd be dope. I'd watch it.
and it's just Jerry Seinfeld and Jay Leno like sitting in like a hotel room somewhere.
Agreed. Well, a lot has been happening in geekdom, and as the show goes, we do the Geeking Out segment. So you guys, I know, Aaron, you know a lot about this kind of stuff, so go ahead and chime on in whenever you'd like. Well, some things have happened in the last couple of weeks with Spider-Man, Sony, Disney, Marvel, all that stuff. We've talked about it in the recent podcast, Foo. What do you guys know so far? What do you know, Aaron?
I mean, we all don't know. It's all just conjecture and rumors still. But I think the latest development is that Sony realized that they just messed up real bad, and this is just conjecture, like I said. But it's possible that they might not only return Spider-Man to the MCU, but with the companion of Venom.
It would be the entire property, right? Everything that is the Spider-Man universe would come with it. I would imagine
They would have to allow their characters to do it. Sony holds control still, no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean, Sony must know that they stand to make the most money through the MCU.
Absolutely.
They
And they
must
have their
know
own
that. There's
outlet,
no way
too.
they don't know that.
they have the PlayStation Network as well,
right?
right?
Yeah.
They could just keep making Spider-Man games, which was awesome. The last one was awesome. The next
the
one's going
last
to be
one was
even better.
really good. And
they
Into the
just,
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
They just bought the studio that produced the game.
I heard that
Insomniac.
actually. Insomniac. I wonder how that might change the game.
Probably-
Potential
They're going to come
games.
out with a bunch of dope shit coming up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry to burst your bubble there, but yeah, it's been confirmed. Sony and Marvel will not negotiate anymore.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so no more
man.
Spider-Man part of the MCU.
That is sad.
Tom Holland even confirmed it. He's going to be doing 2 more Sony Spider-Man movies.
So standalone.
So Sony would
Yeah.
rather do 2 more Spider-Man movies without the MCU than 7 more Spider-Man movies with the MCU.
Yes.
All right.
Well, here's what I
Good
heard.
job,
that was-
Sony.
was, yeah, he's going to do 2 more movies with Sony, but then he's going to come back to the MCU as Night Monkey instead of Spider-Man.
It's the name he's called. And it's the name he's called
Far
while
From
he
Home.
was, in Far From Home when he was like in London or wherever he was.
In the last movie,
okay.
the new movie.
And they're like, no, that guy's
it's a
called
different
Night
character.
Monkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no more Spider-Man. It's going to be crazy to see what Sony ends up doing with him.
It'll probably just be, like the others that they've come up with. I can't trust them.
Extremely lackluster ones, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That whole Andrew Garfield fiasco?
Yeah, the second one, Amazing Spider-Man #2, they
Too cheesy.
yeah, it was too cheesy. It moved too fast.
And they killed
Jamie
Gwen right
Foxx
away.
was not supposed to be in that movie. I could have done with less of him in there. He totally took me out of that movie.
They
Jamie
killed
Foxx.
fucking Osborn too.
They killed Osborn.
killed the Green
so
Goblin.
It was a whole what are you guys doing?
Honestly, I didn't like the first one with Garfield either.
Really?
The whole transformation scene where that pivotal moment in every superhero origin story where they realize their powers and they're learning how to use them. They confined that whole amazingness to a train, a subway. Like what? You remember the one with Tobey Maguire? How amazing that was as an audience to go through that with him, where he starts climbing the wall for the first time.
Yeah, he's
and
learning how to
swings.
use everything.
That was glorious to go through that as an audience. And then the Garfield ones, they were just they're like, oh yeah, train. We're just gonna have him crawl on the top of a subway, and then that's it. He figures it all out.
Yeah, but then we've
rushed.
seen it before. Like,
True.
how many times do we need to see it? Just like Batman. How many times do we need to see his parents die? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point
Just
too.
hurry it up.
Yeah, and it's funny that they haven't already shown us Uncle Ben, taking a bullet already for a third time. Also, it might come now with Sony's producing a couple more. So, I've been missing some murdering of
in the
Mr. Ben.
in the flashback now.
Yeah, in a flashback.
That would be
Is fucking Uncle Ben's Russell Crowe?
yes.
Oh,
I would love to see that.
Aunt May's fucking young as fuck.
I would love to see Russell Crowe in the Spider-Man movie.
Getting shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That too.
He's all besides the point.
Well, something came out where, I don't know if you guys have heard, but Stan Lee's daughter came out and said something about this whole standoff with Sony and Disney. She's talking about how she is siding with Sony because apparently Disney and Marvel gave her dad's legacy no respect or decency. Apparently, nobody reached out to her from Disney Marvel when Stan Lee passed away. They always tried to change or do something different that, Stan Lee would have done. And Sony consulted with Stan Lee with every move that they made regarding Spider-Man, just to make sure that, hey, the guy who came up with the character, let's make sure that he gives us the green light, where Marvel Disney kind of just never really reached out in that way.
What's curious about that is that I at least feel that the Sony movies are inferior to the Disney ones.
I would agree. Well, then again, we haven't seen them yet, except for, of course, the older ones. But maybe they'll learn from this experience and turn a new leaf and give us the quality that we've been seeing with the Disney Marvel ones in the MCU. They're keeping a lot of their production, I understand, a lot of the editing team and that kind of thing for this new one. So they grabbed a lot of tips and they learned a lot of things from the Marvel MCU.
Okay, that's fair. That's
side
a
of
good point.
things. So we might see an increase of quality on their perspective, but or they can just shit the bed altogether. Who knows?
Well, I just considered this: if they're officially bringing back Spider-Man, then that means Spider-Man's probably going to have at least a medium, maybe to large part in the Venom sequel with Cletus Cassidy. That could be really cool. Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage all in one movie. How it was pretty obvious that Spider-Man wasn't in.
It's obviously going in that direction, with Venom 2 being announced, and of course Carnage is going to be a part of it. I'm not a big fan of Woody Harrelson doing it, but
really,
yeah, I don't know. He just like Jamie Foxx did in the Amazing Spider-Man #2 will take me out of that movie.
Okay,
I'm going to be like, that's fucking Woody Harrelson. So it's going to be hard for me to consider him for, or take him seriously.
Woody Harrelson is only Woody Harrelson, just like John Malkovich is only John Malkovich in any movie that you watch. It's like, that's John Malkovich.
That's John
Especially
Malkovich.
being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Right?
They literally made a whole movie about it.
Yeah.
That's meta.
It was super meta.
He crawls into his own hole. Remember that part? And then everyone in the world is like a version of him
for an hour or
and
two?
all they say is John Malkovich.
Oh, wow.
That's their entire language.
I don't know if I could
You
handle
guys
seeing
don't remember that part?
No. I never saw that movie.
That was a trippy movie, dude.
It's a great movie. I love that.
Who wrote that movie? How much acid did they do?
Who knows?
Jeez.
Not enough because we didn't get a sequel.
John Malkovich. It's John Malkovich.
Right. John Malkovich wrote that movie.
John Malkovich.
This past weekend, you guys, D23 Expo, you guys heard of that? The Disney Expo, has been releasing a lot of details. There's going to be a Marvel addition to Disneyland now.
Okay, yeah, I heard about that in California Adventure.
Anaheim, yeah.
They're gonna replace Bug's Life Land.
Yeah, they're gonna update
gonna be
that.
pretty cool.
It's gonna be pretty crazy. Star Wars Land, is already there as well. Have you guys seen the? I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if any footage has come out, but did you guys hear about the new Star Wars movie coming out?
No.
They released some footage.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, they released some footage that was pretty trippy. They said
I heard
Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, is wielding a double-ended red lightsaber, and
Darth
then
Maul's lightsaber,
and
basically.
she has a black hoodie on, and her eyes are evil, like a Sith. Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
So it's going to be a turn of events, you think?
yeah. And there's the rumor since last year that Ben Solo is going to turn to the light side finally.
Well, maybe that's what Rise of Skywalker means, because he's a Skywalker, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Through Leia.
Yeah.
But there's
exactly.
speculation that Rey might be Han and Leia's daughter.
Oh my God, they're gonna pull that again.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my.
We'll see. We'll
Old
see how it
tropes.
goes.
There's all this interbreeding. in
There's
the Star
this
Wars
crazy. So there's this crazy theory.
Only so many humans, you know?
I know. True that. Like you said, one family fucking up a
The
universe.
entire
There
what's
you
one
go.
family? He's just fucking up the galaxy.
You
What the
trace it
hell,
all
dude?
back to them.
Yeah, the Skywalkers.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this theory? There's a theory that's going out there that in the original reveal, they were going back to the Death Star like wreckage. And in the Death Star wreckage is like the force spirit of Emperor Palpatine.
Which is why he's overlooking the poster.
Yeah, and they're saying in one of the extended universe scenarios, he actually was making clones of himself and transferring his consciousness into the clones. And that's what he was trying to do with Luke Skywalker. And so they're theorizing that maybe he takes control over Rey.
Oh man!
Oh wow!
And if this is like
That's a
the
twist.
confirmed like finale of the whole saga, then that would be such a great way to end it.
Yeah.
Oh man!
It would make up for number 2, the one that just came out recently.
Yeah, with the Ryan Johnson one. Yeah, no one's a fan
Yikes!
of it.
Whose choice was it to have the first and the third one directed by the same guy, but the middle one we're gonna give to somebody else?
Actually, Abrams was just one and done. Supposed to be.
Oh, and then they had to bring him back. They're like, "Hey man, homeboy just ruined this thing pretty bad. Can you save it?"
Apparently, Ryan Johnson didn't even consult George Lucas a lot. As much as Abrams has. For
It seems
this movie.
apparent that he didn't consult very many people at all. Like he didn't even like.
I even think
So many good
I even think
storylines,
the Star Wars folks even confirmed that he was already trying to reboot the franchise, but that's not what they needed.
Yeah,
You know, I think everyone wants to conclude the Skywalker series, and then
yeah, I think we're done.
we'll have the new movies, you know, with the Game of Thrones directors and all that shit.
Right.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, but some other, more news from the expo here. Black Panther 2 is revealed to come out in 2022, which is a long time away.
Yeah.
And his movie came out like 2.5 years ago. So
That's a big gap, man.
That
Yeah.
is a huge gap.
there's a rumored, so it's going to be really because I think the big build up to Namor as being the villain. And then also they might bring back Michael B. Jordan as
Killmonger.
Yeah, but that happens in the comics too.
Oh,
So.
okay.
Also, Jamie Foxx is going to be in a Pixar animated movie called Soul, and it's going to be him and Tina Fey.
Oh,
All right.
Interesting.
I can see that.
interesting.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's going to have a pretty cool cast. Questlove's going to be in it as well.
What?
Sick.
And music from John Batiste and an original score from none other than Trent Reznor.
Whoa! For a Pixar movie?
Yeah.
That
gonna be
sounds
dark.
groundbreaking.
So wait, you said a song by John Batiste, and then it's produced by Trent Reznor?
It's going to have new music from John Batiste, and Trent Reznor will direct the score.
Oh, so that means that they worked together at some point, right?
Wow.
Not necessarily.
Or this could be them working together for the project, right?
Could be.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I mean the soundtrack that Trent Reznor put together for the Social Network was pretty solid.
That was.
I thought it made some scenes kind of give you a certain feeling throughout the scene to give you like a certain emotion when normally any other kind of music director wouldn't. He used a lot of synth, a lot of that suspenseful type of shit with, of course, that Trent Reznor flavor that you get from Nine Inch Nails and that kind of thing. So, have you seen The Social Network, by the way?
I have not.
Oh,
It's
man.
like I
It's
think I
a
might be
good
the only
movie.
one.
David Fincher, right? It's directed by David Fincher.
Yeah, and I think they
Good
also
fight
announced that the Breaking Bad movie is going to be released
Oh,
on
yeah.
Netflix
In October.
In October. They gave it a release date.
On Netflix?
On Netflix.
They filmed the whole
Nice.
thing in secret.
Yeah.
It's
It just-
done filming and nobody
It just
even knew
came
about
out like that they finished by Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, it's like 7
Crazy.
weeks away from being available on Netflix.
Wow.
it. Good for them for
Damn.
keeping that secret.
That's dope.
Because, as a consumer, as an audience member, it feels so great to not have to wait like 2 years till something comes
They're
out.
going to get everyone interested to be like, what the fuck's happening now? Mm-hmm. Just from that secrecy factor, you're right.
And then you got to wonder, will that be the end of it? Is that this one, 2-hour long Netflix movie going to be the cap to one of the greatest series?
I would love
of
for them
all
to
television?
leave a cliffhanger.
That's what I'm
not
saying.
Really,
Yeah.
automatically, not really, because they already have Better Call Saul. And it's in the
Oh,
same
yeah,
universe.
okay.
True.
Yeah, you're right
And
about
that show is like
pretty good.
pretty. I like it a lot, actually.
It's different, but it keeps you entertained.
Yeah.
Might have to give that one a second chance.
Yeah, do it.
I got about 5 episodes
It's
in.
worth your time. It's really good to watch.
Okay.
Some more news coming from D23. some new series confirmed. Miss Marvel gonna join Disney Plus, as well as Moon Knight and She-Hulk that are currently in production according to Marvel.
Oh,
All right.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. Who do you suppose they'll cast for She-Hulk?
Fuck, man, I don't know who's not already been cast by Marvel. First of all,
Yeah, no
Trying to
kidding.
think of like some ripped.
Some rip. I mean,
someone
China
from
away.
the DC
Hollywood.
universe.
But
I
she
don't
also
know.
has to look like Mark Ruffalo's cousin, right? Like they have to look.
Why?
like
I
they're-
think there's talks of Mark Ruffalo being replaced.
Really?
What?
Yeah,
How come?
dude, his Hulk is a douchebag.
I think you're the only one who thinks this, man.
I think there is.
You
Listen,
just didn't like hipster Hulk.
I don't like hipster Hulk. No
There's
one
a
You
liked
didn't like it.
faction.
no one liked hipster Hulk except the kids.
See, there's a small faction of people who didn't like the Hulk,
Iteration.
the last
But it was
iteration of Hulk.
Professor Hulk. They were treating it as a Professor Hulk, where he's kind of merging both identities.
I rewatched the movie yesterday, and he does say he spent 18 months in the lab, doing the gamma test, and he finally was able to sync himself with Hulk. There's also a twist in the comics that once he snapped his fingers with the Infinity Gauntlet, he actually I forget the name of it, but he becomes like pretty much like like something inside Hulk changes afterwards, and that leads to like a World War Hulk, pretty much.
Whoa.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope.
Heck yeah.
Especially since Black Widow died,
A lot of fuel on that fire.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
And then just to wrap everything up with the little Game of Thrones reference, did you guys see? Have you guys seen Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So Kit Harington has been confirmed to join the Marvel
I heard as one of the Eternals.
as one of the Eternals, Black Knight,
Okay.
which is a sword wielding knight.
Oh, of course.
Right?
With I
That
think
wears black.
right.
Exactly.
Interesting.
With a former cast member of Game of Thrones, I believe too.
Yeah.
Was in that
Rob Stark. I forget his name.
Rob Stark, indeed.
He's
Richard
gonna be
Madden.
he's gonna be another Eternal. So
Nice.
pretty dope. Kit Harington joins. There's rumors of him possibly coming on as Wolverine,
I heard about that.
but I think Marvel is like 5 years still from an X-Men movie.
Weren't you saying that they didn't want to even call them the X-Men when they re-released the X-Men into
There
it?
was also
X-Force.
like a theory out there that they want to change the reference to X-Men and mutants now as like the chosen or something.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. That's going to piss a lot of
Right?
people
The
off.
whole mutant thing is like part of the whole X-Men thing, you know?
Why would they need to?
It's
though?
very
They
well
bought, like
known.
all the.
They have
bought
all the
Fox,
rights
didn't
for
they?
it.
Yeah.
It's going to be something to do with the way they bring in all the universes in the Doctor Strange movie. His movie's going to be Doctor Strange in the universe of madness.
And
or
the
something.
universe of madness.
Yeah, the
The
multiverse.
multiverse of madness, the first MCU horror movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much yes.
So we'll see. We'll have to see how shit plays out, but we're still like a year or so away from an actual another Marvel movie after all these
Yeah,
Marvel
Phase
movies
4,
being
right?
shitted
Phase
out.
They've
4
been
is just
hitting
started.
us with a shitload, one after the next.
Yeah, I think
every couple months a new one.
there
Yeah,
was a little bit of
now we're
fatigue.
on this huge break after the last Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So-
Now, what's the next thing that they're coming
I
out
think
with?
it's
Star
Black
Wars?
Widow, and that's like next summer.
Black
Okay.
Widow is their first entry after this. That
Yeah.
seems like a weak one.
Don't they have another Guardians of the Galaxy coming out too?
Not for
not
not until
confirmed.
Gunn is done with the Suicide Squad movies.
Oh,
Boy.
fuck! They're doing
Yeah.
more of those.
Yeah, Disney
Yikes.
agreed to let him finish that first.
Why?
Okay.
Let's just hope it's better than the first one. That Suicide Squad. Lordy, that was poor filmmaking.
Yeah. All right. Well, is that going to do it, Foo?
See,
All right. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the joint report and the music highlights. Stick around.
Hey everybody, I'm Josh.
and the food here tagging along.
Be sure to catch us on Fubar Sports.
Listen in now on Tuesdays.
Catch us on any major podcast app or our own website, FubarShow.com. You can also find us on our Facebook group, Fubar Sports.
Join in on the conversation, sports talk, latest rumors, and sports news.
Boobity doobity.
Listen. The new single by The Fallen Electric.
Listen, here's the story.
Available Friday, June 21st. Download or stream it on your favorite music app.
All this time I never believed myself.
Go to thefallenelectric.com for all news, show dates, and contact information.
Are you on weed? Give me some. I'll smoke you two under the table.
Well, guys, today, now we are probably maybe 1 or 2 weeks into people going back to school. Me remembering my college days. Foo, you might remember some of this too. Yeah, well, maybe not because of this. There's a lot of college kids that are smoking weed. And
As well they should be.
And I found this article on leafly.com, as they usually provide me with some good information from time to time. They gave some tips on how to still get good grades. Foo, remember that time when we just got done with the very last finals, and me and this guy met in the Cal Poly parking lot? His dad rolled like the fattest joints that I've ever seen, and we were just hotboxing your Dodge Charger back in the day, dude.
Yeah.
So much so that I think we passed out in the car.
We were like chiefing mad smoke, and I was like, dude, anyone's gonna tell like we're the car boxing. And then so I'm like, let's go to South Campus Drive. We parked on the street. Dude, we were like chilling, smoking the huge ass J. And then, both of us like passed out.
Yeah.
Please tell me a campus officer did not happen upon you.
No.
Oh, that's fortunate. I've had bad luck with those guys at Cal Poly.
that
I didn't even go there. I had friends that went there, and so like campus police actually got to know us a little bit.
Okay. But you weren't on the roster.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, a couple of tips that this provides here is just, continue to be social and sensible with everybody there. Don't be acting all stoned and stupid. One of the mistakes I made really, really early on was that I left accidentally some of the ganja in the backpack. And, it started to reek in the classroom, and everybody was just like, where is that coming from? Obviously, a lot of them around me started to just pointed it over to me in my direction. And somebody's just like, hey, man, you kind of reek. You probably want to keep it in the car or something. I was like, oop, my mistake. So ever since while it was still illegal, we're talking a few years back, I kept it under the spare tire of my car. I don't know.
Nice.
Where
That's
is
smart.
what would you consider to be one of the best hiding places for your ganja?
I've never actually
In the
considered
car.
like a hiding spot in the car.
I
Just
used
in
to
case
be
of-
I used to be able
usually-
to pull out my change tray all the way, like disconnect it, then hide it in there, and then like shove the change tray back because it had its own latch like to stop. So
Oh, okay. What kind of tips would you give a college student that's trying to still get good grades, but they can't help being a stoner?
fuck, man.
Know yourself. Know your cannabis.
I guess like don't be an idiot, and like I kind of don't remember how I pulled it off. to
You
be
skated
honest.
right through it. I think we all did.
Smoke sativa, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get super fucked up on my breaks and like sleep on campus sometimes. So I don't know, man. I've been through all these weird ass scenarios.
Yeah.
I would just say, just go to all your classes, even if you're super stoned. Just fucking go.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's important.
And have like something to block the odor as well if you're going to be hotboxing.
Oh, that kind of advice.
Yeah.
I'd say like buy Rotos. Those eye drops. That's,
Rotos,
like, the best.
I
ones you
used
can
to
get.
actually carry hand sanitizer with me,
Smart.
and then like I would purposely get like the scented ones, not just like a hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And I would just like do it and then just pop like that. So
That would work. You also carried like Axe in your car too, didn't
I
you?
also had like the cheap like fashion district like colognes for like $5 because they're good for a quick like wash your hands
Yeah.
and then the scent's gone in 10 minutes, so
Right.
it helps to get rid of the scent.
Mhm.
Other than that, also probably just a little bit of mouthwash is all.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's true.
You have it all figured out.
Yeah, I was pretty diligent with that kind of thing myself. I would always make sure that if I knocked out, it was like away from where everybody was populating the area. Yeah, because I'd be chiefing it pretty fierce sometimes. So I didn't want to get all stupid in front of everybody. So distance yourself if you're going to be smoking in the car, obviously. But these days you have vapes too, or you have dabs that'll take you to like 3 or 4 hours, throughout the day.
Yeah.
So
Also edibles.
edibles is always a nice
Take a little
choice,
cookie,
too.
split a brownie with someone.
Right.
Yeah, if you can function on edibles, that's definitely a safe route.
You definitely want to know what's in them, how much of it. You got to know yourself, your tolerance, and how fucked up you might, you might become after a certain.
Yeah, edibles can be dangerous.
Oh yeah, especially depending on when they kick in. No,
no, dude.
What happens?
I just become non-functional, dude. I'll sit somewhere and just melt there, and then I just get this crazy body high, and sometimes it actually triggers anxiety for me, dude.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Have you ever gotten that kind of high where it feels like you're going down on a roller coaster, where your stomach is kind of churning?
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about, or is it a different kind of anxiety?
It's a little bit like that, but then also I'll just get really panicked,
Oh, okay.
And I just have to get up and do something at that point. I have to make myself get up and move around, so I'm not just sitting there thinking about freaking out and shit.
Yeah.
That's why you listen to music, man.
Even then,
Doesn't take your
sometimes,
mind off
dude.
it?
Not really. Sometimes it's too intense to where I just need to do something and keep my mind occupied, with a certain task or whatever. I don't know. I'm
You guys
weird like
ever-
that. But anyways, no edibles. Fuck that.
You ever get so high your hands feel like they're 5 times bigger than they actually are? That's a weird high.
Would it still make the piece or the joint that you're holding in that hand?
No, I'm talking way after.
Way after?
Not way after, 15, 20 minutes after you're done
Okay.
smoking.
I've never been that high. I've been
that's
really
pretty
high.
man. That's pretty high. That's a different kind of high.
Yeah.
Was it a specific strain that got you there?
It's probably I don't like sativas very much because they trigger anxiety for me as well, just in general.
Oh, interesting.
But
indicas do that to me.
Indicas are that's what I smoke only. Indicas are
wow.
Or what's I try to smoke. I don't really buy weed too often, honestly. It's more of a drinker.
Okay, right on.
Nowadays, but yeah, I don't know. It's happened a couple times.
Yeah.
Just get so high and I'm laying on my bed listening to music or something, and I'm looking at my hands and just
yeah.
Grab my phone. It's tiny.
It's such a small phone.
That's just a tiny phone. Boo. You tried a different kind of dab wax, didn't you?
Yeah, I tried some shit called THC Clear, and I think I showed it to you. It was in a little glass container. It's only a little tiny bit of extract on the bottom, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why is this $50?" I thought it was weird, and I'm like, you know what? I like trying new shit. Let's see what happens. And I think we took some right when I got it on Thursday.
Yeah,
and I think we just took 1 or 2 dabs each.
Yeah,
and we
I was
fucking
got obliterated.
Yeah, we got trashed. It's really cool. I think it's very highly concentrated, and it's almost a pure extraction.
Wow,
it's super
It's clear,
sticky.
whatever solution they use to create it, it's hardly even there. You can see right through it. I love that kind of stuff, and that's why I like the OC Farms. And they did me wrong in this last purchase.
Now
man.
you're a victim.
I'm a victim. The OC Farm brand, they make those syringe type of dabs that you can take. And lately, they've been kind of runny. So it's really easy to push them through the syringe, in which case you'd get a larger dosage accidentally. And you end up fucking yourself up. So before it was a thick honey where you can kind of gauge on how much you would potentially get once you drop it in, but that's not been the case with this last purchase. So
the time that you learned that was probably fun.
Yeah.
Just no, half the whole syringe.
Yeah, that fucked up the rest of the day.
I've made that same mistake, but it was with Alpine brand. And same thing. It was really thick and honey before, and then this one I got, it was just super runny. And I fucked myself up.
What do you suppose that is? Is just using more water or something?
I think they're not being transported properly to the dispensary.
Okay.
I think they're overheating, and that's the end result. You can tell sometimes on the pens and
the lack of quality control
and waxes, when they tend to be a darker amber, could be to hot shipping environments too. So
okay, interesting.
It's also how much they care about. Kind of the vendors, are they working with good vendors? So
okay,
OC Farms is turning into it's watering down a bit.
Yeah, it's a shame because they were a pretty reliable brand up until recently. Any other new strains you've been trying out, Food?
No, not really. These little pens I've been getting, they're pretty good too.
Are those disposable?
Yeah, the one-time use pens are pretty solid. $20.
Yeah,
for half a gram.
That's pretty
not
good.
bad at all.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually
What
really
a time to be alive.
Dude, no kidding.
Seriously, there's like weed technology now.
Yeah, no kidding. But was it you or Josh that mentioned that they went to MedMen in L.A.?
It was Josh.
Yeah.
And he pretty much got, I believe, some cartridges, like pens, and they were very high level CBD. There's only the market doesn't tend to have a lot of high level shit.
Yeah.
I guess he got like almost 50% CBD content.
Dang.
Most in weed is only like 5% or less.
Yeah.
5% is kind of asking high too.
Yeah.
So yeah, 48% CBD. Yeah, that's really good CBD. I think you end up paying like almost $50 a gram for it.
Damn.
For like half a gram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
crazy
But-
stuff they're making.
But I think he's trying to diversify his CBD-ness a little bit because we're trying to order a case of water. Check this out. This is kind of stupid. I ordered a case.
a
I
great
ordered a
introduction.
case, and they don't ask for a payment method. They're like, "We'll call you," and I'm just
What?
like,
That's
"What
weird.
the fuck?"
What the fuck?
So I ordered it on Wednesday. Haven't gotten a call back.
Guy in a trench coat's going to show up one day.
He's gonna be like, "Got your waters."
Yeah. Well, shit, man. Well, have you guys tried anything new?
Not really. I mean,
Same old.
yeah,
Flower.
just crazy strong flower these days. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some flour out there that potentially could be 40%. You know, I'm sure it's not cheap, but it's stronger than it used to be. That's for sure. It'll really fuck you up if you're not used to it, especially if you're like a first timer. A lot of seniors are becoming first timers.
Oh, they must be having so much fun with it.
Oh, dude, and a lot of them, at least the ones that I know, that are trying it now more regularly for the first time because of their ailments, their arthritis and that kind of thing. They're like, this is not like the weed that we had in the 60s.
I'm really interested in their method of consumption. Because back in their day, I think it was just joints. Like, I have a friend whose dad was around when the bong was invented. He remembers the time before the bong. I'm like, whoa, that must have been crazy. So I'm wondering, like, do these senior citizens, do they just like smoke it only in joint form because that's like what they're used to? And then if so, they probably don't even need a whole joint. They're probably like done with
Just a little bit.
yeah, burn, like
Well,
tip of the damn thing.
A lot of them, based on what I've read, a lot of them like to bake it into an edible.
Okay.
That way it's easier to consume. However, that is from a medical perspective, at least if they're consuming it from a medical perspective. Those who like it from a medical perspective and then want to have a good time later on that day will take on the joints, the bongs, pretty much anything else that's available to them. Because it's just more social that way when you light it up in one way, shape, or form. I mean, now these days, me and the Foo almost exclusively just do the dabs. We've been dabbing for a very long time. Ever since my bachelor party in Colorado, when we went to Denver, that opened up an entire freaking world to us because we went on a couple of weed tours. And we went on one specific one where the destination was to go to a dab class. And so it was kind of like in a classroom type of environment where they were showing us all the different types of dabs, giving us the science behind it and all the terminology. And then obviously at the end of the lecture, we all went up and tried a few. There was definitely room for seconds and thirds because some people were being shy with that shit. So you best believe I was in that line a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Me and the Foo over here were just getting blown. I don't think my eyes were like white for that entire week. We were down there.
Nice.
Yeah. But dabbing is probably the next step. It's not as clean. It's clean. It's bulky. Do you
find that it affects your
transport it.
voice in a different way than smoking weed?
Yes.
Or like, smoking
Yes. In matter of fact, I would prefer to dab before I go play a show rather than smoking, or actually combusting with fire.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit you as hard. I think I don't get the cotton mouth that I would get if I'm smoking flower. Do you guys have a different perspective?
I've never taken, stock of that, but that's a really good insight. I've never noticed that. I'll probably
you're
notice
essentially
now.
vaping it.
Yeah.
You're vaporizing the dab in there, and it's not smoke where it would kind of, I don't know. I guess smoke would attach to your shit a lot quicker than a vapor would. Your esophagus and your windpipe and all that stuff. So, and for me, I don't know why, but I've tried to cut back on the alcohol consumption while I'm playing a show. And doing water. However, I find that the beer that you consume helps coat the throat in some particular way. I don't know if you would agree, Aaron.
Oh,
with
yeah. I prefer whiskey.
Oh, yeah?
For that purpose, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Little shot of whiskey before you go on for that third set, fourth set. You know, your vocals are getting a little raw.
Right.
Take a shot of whiskey, and then if the bar has it, some olives.
Huh?
Chew on some olives, let the olive juice get in there.
But
yeah, I've found that pretty much similar. Oh, thank you.
Want a shot of whiskey?
Speaking of
Zach
whiskey,
just so happens to have a bottle of whiskey.
wow, Jack Daniels just fell from the sky.
So whiskey is your drug of choice. Well, I will pair my Dos Equis with a nice dab, maybe a couple hours earlier. So
that sounds lovely.
Or a J after it all, Foo.
Oh yeah, the J. Anything after a show is fair game because I don't want to fuck myself up too much. But I think that's going to do it for a joint report, guys.
Smoke weed every day.
Well, let's bring this home with the music title. Well, guys, I asked you to bring a couple of songs for me today, and we are going to play a couple of songs off of your Strange Radio album that came out last year.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about Head Change?
Well, Head Change is the first track on the EP. I feel like it kind of captures one side of our, what we do pretty well. It's just like the have fun, smoke weed, have fun, enjoy life sort of vibe that we put out. And so yeah, we wanted to start the EP on a high note. And I feel like that song represents a side of us pretty well.
Nice. It's a fun song. So let's check it out.
Feel it a little bit
All right, that was Head Change. That shit
Yes, it
dope.
was.
This next one that you brought for us today was the Ballad of Marvin and Mia, and this features From Zero to Hero in there.
It features the vocalist from Zero to Hero,
Uh-huh.
who happens
Enzo.
to be my roommate.
Yeah.
So I felt that song's easily our most closest to metal entry that we have. So I felt that it needed a little something that I'm personally not capable of producing. Some screams. I never learned how to do it, and I don't really care to learn how to do it. But I felt that song could use it.
Yeah.
And so he was there. He's my roommate. He was right there and was available.
And
when
he's
we
in a
needed
metal
him.
band himself,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
why not?
And his screaming ability is pretty good. So
Yeah.
he came down and featured on it. It was pretty cool.
Do you guys usually have this one in your live set list?
Oh yeah. Well, not for all the shows, but we try to play it, when it's appropriate. You don't want to play it to certain audiences, I might say.
Sure.
But yeah, we try to incorporate that one into most of our sets because we feel that it exhibits a nice different side of us. You wouldn't expect that from a band who wrote Carpet Shark, for instance.
Yeah, that one's a fun one. Now, speaking of Carpet Shark, sorry to go on a tangent, but
no worries.
who's in that shark suit in
That's
the
me.
video?
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah. I was
hilarious.
doing all the acting for that.
Wow.
Except for the dance
With the
scene.
cameo from Darnell of Porcelain Hill.
Really?
Yeah, he did the moonwalk scene. Because I was like, hey, I can't moonwalk. Who can? All right, Darnell, you're here. Cool, let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Put this
his
on.
big ass head broke the suit, and we haven't been able to use it since.
Oh, no. Ah, damn it.
Necessary.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Necessary sacrifice.
Well, let's check out the Ballad of Marvin and Mia.
Yeah.
night. I'm taking out the boss's wife. I didn't know it this evening is too old. She went and put it up her nose, even though that's not where it goes. And now she's lying on the floor looking so cold. So now we're driving to your house. It helps that you can help me out. I wouldn't ask this, but fear makes you so bold. You mark a place to stab it in. I count to 3 and ride my sin. And now she can't live her life and go so old. Kills under my belt, yes I do, and I never feel the way I felt when I'm with you. I opened up the briefcase first, he pulled a gun and spoke the verse, and then he shot your friend like it didn't matter. We're on the freeway homeward bound, you try to talk, I turn around, I hear a bang from my gun and it's splattered. We need a wolf to fix this flaw. He cleaned it up with just a call. We traded in our suits for clothes and tatters. As violent swells, we break our fast. I always knew this wouldn't last. You walk the earth now cause your dreams have been shattered. I got some kills under my belt. Yes I do. And I never feel the way I felt when I'm with you. And you got your gun up to my chest, and I knew that you would be the one to get my best. Now it's true.
the fuck you fucking freaking out on him?
Look, I'm telling Marcellus today. I'm through.
Well, why don't you tell him at the same time? Why?
Don't worry, I will.
Yeah, and I'll bet you $10,000 he laughs his ass
I
off.
don't give a damn if he does.
Marvin, what do you think of all this?
Yeah, I don't even have an opinion.
You gotta have an opinion. I mean, just keep that God came down from heaven and stop it. What's happening now, man? Oh, man, I shot Marvin in the face. How the fuck did you do that? I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident. Oh, man, I've seen some crazy ass shit in my time, but just chill out, man. I told you it was an accident, but you went over a fault. I told you it was a motherfucking thing. Hey, look, man, I didn't mean to shoot the son of a bitch. The gun went off. I don't know why. Well, look at this fucking mess, man. We're on a city street in broad daylight here. What's the reason now, motherfucker? We gotta get this car off the road. I got some pills under my belt. Yes, I do. And I never feel the way I felt when I'm with you. And you got your gun up to my chest, and I knew that you would be the one to get my best. Now it's true.
Foo,
Yo,
are you ready?
no.
The best theme songs of all time. The way this goes, fellas, is that we have made brackets of the best theme songs when it comes to television, movies, ads and jingles, and video games. And today we are working on the television bracket.
Okay.
And it's a huge thing. This is probably going to take us till the rest of the year. And what we're gauging here is, at least from these four pairings, because it's a huge bracket. We're in the television league, and there are 4 divisions within the television league. We have comedy, we have drama and action, sci-fi horror, and kids and education.
Okay.
So we are going to start off with the comedy
Oh, thank God.
section of the.
I already know what Zach's going to say.
And what we are judging
Like
here,
clockwork.
what we are judging here is the musical quality and memorability. So and then if they are equal, then you have to just pick one. And which one is the better of the two? So since we're starting with the comedy one, it is going to be these 2 songs.
You were going to say The Office, huh?
Good old Andy Griffith, right?
I dig it.
We've known about this one for a very long time. And so on and so forth.
I like that muted horn in there. I never noticed that before.
That one is going up against.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a
we have a winner.
trip that started from this tropic point aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough. The
And a
tiny ship
thundercloud,
was
like that's
tossed.
amazing.
If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost.
Remember
The ship set
back in the
round and
70s, there was an entire song that was written for these damn intros.
Right?
And then they gave you like the whole cast here.
Yeah, this one like sets up the whole show.
Oh yeah.
For songwriting alone,
The
this song.
theme song with conflict.
Fun fact, on season 1 of Gilligan's Island, the Professor and Marianne were kind of featured players in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So the theme song in the first season would just, instead of saying the Professor and Marianne, it was just, and the rest.
I remember that. I
Nice.
remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess, I don't know, maybe they got some good casting agents, and then they fought to put their actual character names in the theme song.
So then they had to pay the guy to come back and re-record the song.
I guess
That line at
yeah,
least.
pretty much.
Nice.
Just that line. So out of those 2, we'll start with you, Aaron. What do you think?
I mean, for me, it's a clear winner. Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island?
That's a timeless
All right.
seminal piece of music.
Cool. Zach? What do you think out of the two?
I'm going with Andy Griffin, and I'll tell you why.
Griffith,
whatever. Come on, man. I never watched the show, but the theme song, for me personally, is more memorable because I've often found myself just like whistling it.
Huh? Yeah.
Just like going about my daily duties, whistling that song.
Yeah.
I've never once like sung the fucking
the whole way through.
Yeah. Of
what do you mean?
I mean,
the Gilligan's Island.
I've never sung the Gilligan's Island.
One
theme.
could argue that that's probably because
But that's just
you
me
watched
personally.
more Andy Griffith than you
I
did
didn't watch
Gilligan's
either.
Island.
I didn't watch
Okay.
either.
Okay,
I was more of a Monsters guy.
that's fair.
Just for the record,
What about you, Foo?
Andy Griffith, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, more memorable.
This is a real nail biter.
You heard everything in the background. When you hear the music in the background too, it's like, oh damn.
Okay.
What
All
were
right.
the
Real
what were
catchy.
the things we were judging them?
We're judging musical quality and memorability.
Okay. Are we?
To me,
any
memorability
comments?
is Andy Griffith.
Any comments on musical quality? The difference, between them.
I would say I like the slow background of in the Andy Griffith one. I preferred that a lot more.
Okay.
I like the
acoustic.
songwriting though for Gilligan's
Yeah.
Island. It's fucking clever as
Fantastic songwriting.
fuck. Yeah.
All right, Marco.
You know what?
Tiebreaker.
I like them both, but I'm gonna go with Gilligan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island. Why?
Because like I said before, I like the way that one, like, the lyrics tell the story. It sets up the
Sets
whole
it up.
premise of the show.
Pretty
you know?
much.
It has lyrics. Was the other one not?
No, just the whistling is the melody,
Which might
to it.
explain why it's a little bit more catchy.
Yeah,
A little bit easier.
And
to
obviously,
remember.
you can whistle to it.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
pretty much whistle it throughout your day.
Boom.
It's coming down to me.
Uh-oh.
Where's this going to go? Well, I have to say that the
real
Andy
tiebreaker.
Griffith Show is definitely memorable. At least for me, I used to watch Gilligan's Island all day, every day when it was on TV as a kid. All the reruns. Obviously, I wasn't around when they first came out, but those reruns back in the early '90s when I was a kid, I would watch Gilligan's Island.
Shout out to TV
Yeah.
Land.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Not even that, dude. It was just on UPN. Channel 13. So
Talking about Nick at Night.
Be like Sunday afternoons and
I
shit.
was poor, dude. I didn't even have cable, so I don't know what you guys are even talking about. No, I would just watch it on regular old TV whenever I can catch it. And if I put them together, I'd say that Andy Griffith's show, as catchy as it could be, the music when I go with musical quality, I'm going to side with Gilligan's Island on this one.
Yeah.
You got lyrics to it, it sets it up, gives it a good foundation, and boom, 20 minutes of hilarity.
Plus, I mean that
yeah.
that lightning sound effect right in the middle, dude, just like sets up all that tension.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry to say, Zach and Foo, actually, Margaret, you were Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's
Go fuck
Island
yourself,
takes the
dude.
Theme song's better than both of those is fucking Sanford and Son. So
Oh,
that's what I was gonna say.
I thought
Not
for
The
sure you were
Office.
going to say The Office.
yeah, The Office has already been.
I mean, the Jeffersons, though.
a part of this bracket.
That's a good. That's a
Yeah,
good
the Jeffersons.
That tells a story too.
Yeah.
That's true. Everything from the 70s. I mean, have you
That's all good.
guys ever listened to Maude? That
Maude.
one's an
Whoa.
entire story.
I haven't thought about that show in like a decade.
Nobody should have anyway. So we're moving on to the drama and action
Ooh,
division
nice.
of the television league, and we're starting off with The Greatest American Hero.
Yes.
Look at what's happened to me. I can't believe it.
What is this from?
Greatest American Hero.
Oh, I never saw
Suddenly
that.
I'm up on top of the world. It should have been somebody else.
Here we go.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I
where
could
this is
feel
from?
so free.
It has a cameo in Seinfeld.
Went on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
Wasn't there a football player that had a commercial with this song playing?
Yes, I forget.
Green Bay Packers quarterback
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, wasn't he? With him and his dog.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Sounds pretty cringy.
It was pretty funny.
Sounds pretty hilarious.
No, what Aaron and I were freaking out over is that's the song that George modeled his
Stanza.
his answering message song.
Oh,
after.
It was a
that's
parody
right.
of that.
Yeah.
I had never heard that until Seinfeld.
Nice. Well, that one is going up against. You guys familiar with Doogie Howser, MD?
Not even a little bit.
Yo, Neil Patrick Harris.
I've heard tell of it.
Put him
on, bro.
put him on the
Tales.
map. What about you, Marco? What do you know about Doogie Howser?
Man, I haven't seen Doogie Howser since like the early 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude. It's been that long.
I think it was on right after Small Wonder
Yeah.
or Mr. Belvedere.
Whoa, Small Wonder.
Remember that
Yeah.
shit?
Robot Girl?
I
my
remember more
God.
Small Wonder, actually.
Yeah. Mr. Belvedere was
Vicky.
also an interesting one to watch.
That was, yeah.
Some weird sitcoms back there.
Man, I want to go back and watch some of those.
Some weird
dude.
premises.
Now
and
it's
we're
just
just supposed
people-
to watch and accept it, you know?
Now it's just people like at an office talking into a camera, like some crazy
Yeah.
shit going
Wow.
on back then. What?
Way to slight the office.
I'm just saying that's actually more
It's a
on the
it's
side
a
of the office.
revolutionary-
It was a
Back
The,
then,
the best show of all
you
time,
needed
The
alien
Office.
puppets
I
and
agree.
robot girls
Yeah.
for TV shows
I agree.
back
Like,
then.
why-
Never gets stale.
why aren't they
It
making
never-
shows
never
like that?
gets stale.
Like
Because there's actual competition
an
these
Android and an
Controversial
Android
opinion.
fucking stepdaughter
I
or
haven't
whatever it
watched
was.
either.
I
Yeah,
would watch
yeah.
the hell out of that.
Or even Alf, dude.
Just Modern Family, but one of
Yeah.
them's an android.
Like
Crazy.
a sitcom about a fucking alien that eats cats, dude.
days. Yeah.
That
That
was
was
terrifying.
Or a family that houses Bigfoot.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
See, what kind of crazy sitcoms were we watching as kids?
Crazy, man. Well, going back to these two, Zach, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Oh, I got to go with the Greatest American Hero, man.
Yeah.
That's like amazing. But
Mhm.
Doogie Howser theme song's pretty epic.
Okay. What about you, Foo? What do you got?
Fuck. I got to go with the first one. The
Great
second one was
American
just too much for me.
Too much.
Too much going on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for me to appreciate
I
it.
kind of agree.
I hear that.
Yeah.
All right, Marco.
Although I do find those synth sounds from the Doogie Howser one pretty nostalgic, I got to go with Greatest American Hero.
All right. Well, mathematically, Doogie Howser's all the way out, but I would have gone with the Greatest American Hero myself. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so that is just a clean sweep.
Yeah.
All right, well, that Greatest
Sorry,
American
Doogie.
Hero takes the round. Well, we're moving over to the sci-fi and horror. Now, this first one that I'm going to show, it could go into the comedy one, but I think the underlying bed of the entire series is sci-fi, not horror, obviously. It's sci-fi / horror, so I put them into this one, and you'll understand after you hear it.
Yes.
The old Rick and Morty. You know they ordered like a shitload more episodes for this show, right?
How can they keep writing for this? I mean, I know anything's possible in that universe, but it sounds difficult to conceptualize all that stuff.
Nerds. You hire a bunch of nerds.
That is true. You're right.
Yeah.
I want to see where they take that whole Citadel
Evil Morty?
saga.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah, then like someone was saying in one of the earlier episodes, I think season 2, where one of the Ricks on like the Council of Ricks was like, or the guy like talking to the Council of Ricks like, I vote that this is the best Citadel in all of the multiverses.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like multiple Citadels.
So they don't have just one. There's there's probably one in every multiverse. And
Plus
then
the whole
people just
the
flock to
Evil
that.
Morty storyline.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
apparently the fan theory is that Evil Morty is the first original Morty that's just gotten like sick of Rick's shit and is trying to take over the
I could
Citadel.
totally see that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crypty. Well, Rick and Morty is going up against the classic
Crypt Keeper.
Tales from the Crypt. Danny Elfman
Yep.
wrote this one.
I did not know that, but I should have guessed.
Oh yeah.
You know what's funny is the melody on this one isn't. It's only like a couple notes off from the melody on The Simpsons, which is another Danny Elfman one.
That's true.
I think he put this one in a minor key or something like that. Makes sense. Wow. Like it's very similar.
A little
to The
bit.
Simpsons.
A little bit. Talk about recycling.
right?
For real.
And they were honestly they were probably written like around the same time, anyways.
Yeah, 1992.
Okay,
When this came out, The Simpsons had already been out for like 4
probably
years.
yeah, a couple years before.
For sure. Foo, we'll start with you on this one.
This one's tough because I think the Danny Elfman factor is always respectable, but he nailed it on the head. It's so similar to so many of his other songs that the memorability factor can get lost for me. So I have to go with Rick and Morty.
I would argue though that Danny Elfman, he's always on brand. Whenever he writes a score, you know what it's going to sound like, but it respects kind of the artwork of the actual, visuals that you're watching too. For example, Nightmare Before Christmas was awesome.
I think I give cadence more to Rick and Morty because it does sound like a really cool sci-fi type of
and it borrowed elements from like the old school stuff too.
Yeah, that's why I think it
the synth stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's why I think it stands out to me at least more than Danny Elfman's song.
Okay, all right. What about you, Marco?
The Danny Elfman one is definitely a favorite, but I'll go with Rick and Morty based on originality.
Okay. All right. As much as I love Rick and Morty, I think musical quality, Danny Elfman just writing that score, it's not overly processed like the Rick and Morty one is, where it kind of it's too synthy for my.
You could tell it was all
taste.
made on a computer.
Exactly. As much as I love it, I think the Tales from the Crypt beats it for me. So I'm going to go with that. What about you, Aaron?
It's hard to choose because I don't think enough time has passed since Rick and Morty. Like all these other ones, like there's been a little bit more time to reflect on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ultimately I'm going to have to go with Tales from the Crypt as well, just for the musical, musical prowess involved. But I mean, it's just I think it gets stuck in your head a little bit more.
Okay. It's hard.
Once you hear them both, I think,
like
right now,
we just did.
Yeah, maybe it's because I heard that one more recently, but I don't know. I feel like it's just a stronger piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, you're the tiebreaker on this one.
I know, shit. I gotta go with Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
I never really experienced the Tales from the Crypt, so I wasn't familiar with that song at all.
Uh-huh.
So for like memorability, memorableness, whatever, Rick and Morty is definitely my favorite.
Okay, cool. Well, Rick and Morty takes it around. All right, and then when we get to the next round of the brackets, it's going to be paired up with a juicy one, so that's going to be fun.
Nice.
But moving on to the Kids in Education and the final division of the Television League.
Please tell me you got Reading Rainbow on there.
Oh, we already did Reading Rainbow, my friend.
Did you already do Bill Nye? Good.
Oh yeah, that was the first round we ever. Yeah, we've gotten some doozies in this one. Kids in Education is quickly becoming like my favorite division of the Television League. It has a bunch of catchy shit because you got to write it for kids,
You got Carmen Sandiego in there.
Oh, it didn't make it. It didn't make it. There was other ones that like
Sesame Street. I mean,
well, it's funny you bring that up.
Oh.
Got chills.
Yeah, that was a throwback Sesame Street.
For real.
Oh yeah. Woo. It's a funky one.
Who's
right
that
there.
on that? Who's that on the instrument? Is that like Brothers Johnson or something?
Right? It's the band.
Right.
All right. Well, that one's gonna go up against.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
If nautical nonsense be something you wish,
SpongeBob SquarePants!
then drop on the deck and flop like a fish.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Ready? SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants!
Well, there you have it, guys. Marco, we'll start with you on this one.
I don't like polka, so I'm going to go with Sesame Street.
Fair enough. Okay, well, in terms of musical quality and memorability, I think Sesame Street also is superior to SpongeBob SquarePants. What do you think, Aaron?
I kind of like hate myself a little bit for what I'm about to say, but I agree with the consensus. I love SpongeBob and I love that theme song, but there's just something magical about Sesame Street. I really did get chills when it finished playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta go Sesame Street.
All right.
Sesame Street all the way. Take that to the bank.
Bastards.
You were the only one singing along to SpongeBob SquarePants.
Dude, yeah, it's such an easy, catchy song, but when I gotta compare musical quality, I agree. The polka is shit, so it's Sesame Street.
Okay. All right. Well, Sesame Street takes the round, and that's going to do it for another Best Theme Songs of All Time. We're going to be doing movies in the next episode, and we got some doozies in there as well.
Nice.
So we're more than halfway through the first round for all of this, and then we're going to jump into the second round, and then we're going to pin the winners up against each other, and then we're going to do the leagues to go against each other in some epic freaking thing.
That sounds magnificent.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. But anyway, guys, thanks for being on the show. This was a thin slice of heaven having you on.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the madness.
Yeah. We're sorry we didn't have Josh here. He would have done really good on the Seinfeld game.
I know. I want to go head to head.
One of these days, man. One of these days. In fact, we've been talking about maybe even pairing up the Seinfeld along with like The Simpsons and maybe The Office. So we'll have just some like big trivia episode.
Super
that would
trivia.
be dope.
When that
If we do The
happens,
Office,
call us.
I'm 100%.
Okay.
in.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
He'll
all I
win.
need, dude.
He'll win.
Yeah?
I
I don't know.
think
This
so.
guy right here.
From what I hear about this guy, yeah,
the
I might
Foo
not,
will...
but-
I'll destroy you on The Office.
I don't know, man. I watched the entire series. Like, I
Sounds
don't
like a
know.
challenge, Zach.
Right?
8 or 9 times, probably.
If what I'm thinking is true, yeah, you probably watched it as many times as I
Dude.
have. Like
I'm
each
right there with you.
episode, like 20 times probably,
I'm
maybe
about to
30.
go buy the DVD box set on Amazon because Netflix is getting rid of it. Like,
That's true. I gotta
I
get
can't
that
go
cash
without
ready.
my Office every like 3 months.
Foo, I gotta
that
feel
shit.
good when I come home once in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
I would
And-
pay to see that matchup.
Yeah.
Good money.
Dang.
Just like Jay Leno and
Charge
Jerry
admission for
Seinfeld
it.
talking
Well, here's a
about cars.
preview of a
Yeah.
free matchup in the future.
Wow. Well, guys, where can we find you? Like, where's the next show? What's your website? All that good stuff.
Well, our website is topshelfshake.com, and that's got all our upcoming shows and merch and, you know, all the good stuff, all the juicy little tidbits.
Yeah.
So check that out. Our next show is this coming Friday, the 30th of August, and that's going to be at Glendora Continental at 9 p.m. And you can always catch us the first Saturday of every month at 4th and Mill at in Rancho Cucamonga. And let's see, you can always stick with us on Spotify and listen to our old stuff, and pretty soon catch up on our new songs. And of course, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Twitter, we always got some interesting things to say.
Top Shelf Shake Band on Instagram.
There it is.
Who runs the Twitter account? Is that you?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
You post a lot?
I post random tweets like once a month.
Never
Just like my
even knew.
random insights.
Once a month. Well, guys, thanks for being on the show. We'll plan on the next one where we'll have the super trivia game. Well, you're of course invited to it. That's going to be
Hell yeah.
It's going to be
Should
tons
make
of fun.
that an event.
It'll be a
Foo.
bloodbath.
We should also invite the unlucky ones.
Oh,
That would be
so
epic.
we have another podcast friend. They're called the Unlucky Ones podcast, and they're movie reviewers where they'll pick a movie that didn't really get all the love that it deserved back when it came out. For example, they just came out with Coneheads, an episode talking about Coneheads, an episode talking about Episode 1 Star Wars. They found like some actual cool stuff about it, and they talked about it for about an hour and a half, and they made a lot of good points. Office Space. Like they talked about all these movies that really maybe didn't get the love financially.
Yeah, yeah.
Boondock
box
Saints.
office.
Animal House.
Yeah,
Boondock
yeah.
Saints.
Boondock Saints was another one. Transformers. They got a lot of love in the box office, but critically it didn't. But they found some good arguments on why it's worth your time. Maybe they would love to be a part of an Office, Simpsons, and shit, man, and
massive
Seinfeld
crossover
Yeah,
event.
massive crossover thing. So we would need more microphones. That's for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So we'll work on that, and we'll let you know when that might take place. We might even do it at a live event kind of place. So maybe we'll try to put something together here. So
That'll be awesome.
TopShelfShake.com. Everybody go check them out. They have new music coming out as well. They are very busy all the time, so there's no reason why you shouldn't go see Top Shelf Shake. Give them some love. Thank you all very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. Thank you for downloading the pod on your favorite podcast app, subscribing, and telling a friend like a champ. You can always reach us at Foo Bar Show. That's FTheBelowBarShow.com. And F The Below Bar Show is your handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out. Drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. I've been Joe C.
With the food.
With Aaron, Zach, and Marco of Top Shelf Shake signing off saying, don't be a dick.